Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. And please do remember, if you do not like what I say, how I say it, or why I say it, then please do feel free to click off this video and go about the rest of your day in peace. And so, you all in my community went ahead and voted on this particular topic for this month's video, and that is what energy do you need to clear out before you start your business? So, keep in mind that obviously we're kind of discussing something that's probably more emotional or mental in nature than necessarily a physical obstacle, although there is a potential for that. But if you have physical obstacles, you definitely want to seek out professional help to in regards to those things. Make sure you always do your research and check with specific laws and regulations and licenses and stuff that you would need in your specific, city, state, country in order to start a business, depending on what sort of business you're looking at. Again, this could be as far as maybe just turning your side hobby into something that makes you a little bit of money on the side, nothing too like serious, or it could be the opposite. You really want to start like a full-on franchise, or you want to hire on a bunch of employees and be the boss, be the CEO, whatever it is. So we're going to see where that range kind of goes. It'll be different for each person, but regardless of which side of the spectrum you're looking at, if you have emotional or mental blocks, and again, it could be specifically in that business realm of, idea, or it could be creative, or it could be none of those. It could be something from your childhood. It could be an experience, a relationship you had in the past, some sort of seed of, maybe emotional doubt or imposter syndrome or whatever. These little things, if you're not aware of it and you're not addressing it and finding ways to overcome it, those can become very big roadblocks when you're trying to start something, potentially big, like a business for yourself, becoming an entrepreneur. If you have maybe, confidence issues, whatever, you need to find kind of the source of where that's coming from in order to put yourself on the best foot for success when it comes to this idea of starting your own business. Again, apply that to whatever situation you're looking at for yourself. But generally, we're thinking of you kind of being in a position where you're going to become your own boss. All right. We're not necessarily talking about you working for somebody else. We're talking about you working for yourself, is kind of the vibe we're going with here. So, what is this energy block that's happening? Again, it could be mental, it could be emotional, it could be, whatever, that is kind of acting as a stopper in this process for you. So, we have three piles here today, keeping it a little simple. We got pile one, pile two, and pile three. So go ahead, meditate, pause the video, get really centered, call in your guides, your spirits, whatever it is that gets you in the zone. And if you are attracted to more than one of these piles, that is perfectly fine, because again, this is a general reading. It is a timeless reading as well. So whenever you're watching this, the messages can apply, but there might be maybe like two cards from this pile that resonate with you, and maybe a card from this one that resonates with you, or an overall like one specific message from one pile, and then everything from a different pile. That is perfectly normal and okay, because again, we're talking about a general reading. We're talking about a collective of people who are watching this video, and you need to trust your own intuition and apply it to your own personal situation how you will. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and jump into this and see what's going on in these piles. Right, for pile one, we're going to go ahead and jump into your cards. We have tarot, we have a couple oracle cards, and we're going to see again what is the energy that you need to clear out. So we have the Three of Wands, we have the Ace of Wands, we have the Ten of Swords, and we have the Strength card. So just looking at the vibe here. So part of, I feel like, so the energy that you need to clear out in order to start your business has to do with being able to stop thinking about it so much. I guess that, if that makes sense, I feel like a lot of you get stuck in the the planning stage. Like you've gathered, I get the sense that you've gathered a lot of information, you have a lot of facts, you know the steps that you need to take in order to make this a reality, but you get so bogged down by the stress of it all. And I get the sense that sometimes, because we got Leo energy here with the strength card. Leo is a fixed sign. So while fixed signs are very steady, they got longevity to themselves, they can be extremely stubborn. And also when it comes to things like failure, if they try something and they fail initially, it's like, no, forget about it. I can't. I'm horrible. I'm bad, and it goes into that kind of cycle. So I feel like there's a potential here where you've made all these plans, you've written out the strategy, you've came up with the ideas of how to do this, but then the minute you start, and much like anything in life, when you start something, you had this idea and then you start doing it, and hey, things happen, it maybe doesn't go exactly as planned, you have to pivot, you have to make a little change. But the moment that happens, you throw up your arms and you do a Disney princess fall to your bed and just, woe is me, oh my god, I'm such a failure, because you maybe, again, you messed up on one tiny thing, or again, something didn't go exactly as, and I don't even feel like necessarily something went completely like, oh my god, wrong, but I feel like you guys blow it into that, oh my god, it's wrong, when really it was just like one little setback. Or, oh well, maybe the color you imagine in your head was this violet purple, but oh no, it actually came out as, a royal purple or something. You know what I mean? It's like, it's still like the same thing, but it's like slightly off, and it's like, oh no, it's ruined, it's ruined. So yeah, there's definitely a big need, I feel like, for you guys, that you really need to work on this idea of having better discipline, that even when there's a setback, you need to stay the course with what it is you're doing. With the ace there, it's all about just go with it. Do the energy, do the thing. It's fresh, it's passionate. Go with the passion. And yes, there might be bumpy hills on the way, but that's just part of the process. Yeah, and exactly with like the Three of Wands, this is all about believing in yourself and your future will be bright. Are you not believing in yourself? I've already kind of said it, where I feel like you guys have a very negative self-talk to yourself. You're very critical of yourself. It's like you have that perfection, um I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, but it's like perfectionism, I guess. Like you want everything to be exactly perfect and in its place, but it's just like, it's not how life goes. Life is messy, and a business is no different. Parts of doing a business are going to be messy, they're going to be confusing, and things are not going to go 100% perfect. No matter how much you plan, how much you check your T's and cross your I's or whatever, it's like things are going to inevitably, you're going to mess up somewhere along the way, and that's just part of the process of learning. There's things that you're looking for at the horizon, and you're dreaming about it, you want it so bad, but then the moment you try to step your foot out to get on that ship, it's like, oh no. Literally, um with this Ten of Swords, it is not everything turns out as you would like it. Be resigned to it. Yeah, things are not always going to go the way that you hope them to. And that's just part of it. You need to get over that, because you have great ideas, you have a lot of passion, and you could be very popular. I get the sense, because again, we have Leo energy here. So you could really, be a little star in your own sense, but you have to not allow the perfectionism to get in the way. Let's see what else we have here. We literally have wish granted. Believe in your abilities as a magic maker to manifest your wishes. They will soon be your reality. We'll get more into that. But literally, that's like what this is saying. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in your dream, and you will manifest it. But you can't get bogged down by the idea of it not going exactly perfectly. Like, you have to hold the image, but you can't be so, you have to be understanding that, there is a reality to things, and things will go wrong. We also have literally strategy with journal log. And it's like, I was totally picking up that with the book. Like, you journal. Oh my God. That's crazy. Literally your next card. I picked these. These are the sacred self-care, as like a helpful card for you guys to, talk about something literally to do to help you work through this energy. And again, we have write a gratitude list. We have a lot here about writing things down. So it's like, and I feel like that's what something you naturally do as it is. You really plan on, you have these ideas, but it's really helpful that you need to find a good balance with that, where you dream big and you have these ideas and you write them down. But then you need to look at that and then, okay, how can I create like a to-do list, and I can break down those huge ideas, those huge dreams into actual, manageable little steps that I can take. And I feel like for you guys, it doesn't hurt to have, maybe to make yourself feel a little better. Cause again, I get the sense that you get so married to this one path, this one idea. So when things veer off, you're like, oh no. It's really important for you guys to have, I think, a backup plan. Like, okay, this is plan A, this is my main plan. Here's option B and C, just in case maybe something on this to do list, on this task, doesn't go exactly right. So let's get into these cards a little bit more. So let's talk about strategy, which came upright in the energy oracle here, and that is card 21. So it's all about making a plan. This card shows a pen, journal, compass, and key. When you receive this card upright, indicates that this is the optimal time for setting up a very specific strategy for achieving your goals. Again, maybe for some of you, the struggle here is you're so up in your head about the dreams and the grandeur of, whatever it is you're wanting to start as business wise, that you forget to actually create that specific blueprint plan for how to do it. And then again, that's where I feel like you run into that issue of, oh, something didn't go exactly right because you didn't account for that, you know? Write about the direction you want to go in. Consider any potential change in course that may be needed. Be aware of the particulars regarding your goals and have some conscious plan in mind. Structure the short-term goals needed to make your long-term goals a reality. I literally said all of this already. This card is telling you to spend some time setting things in order. It's time to take a full control. Add thought to action, Ace of Wands, and set your sights on the road ahead. Wow. That is crazy. So, kind of backtracking here, there was something I forgot I wanted to talk about with these particular tarot cards. Because each tarot card can have something specifically career related that I feel like we should touch on a little bit, because it might, specify the kind of business that some of you are looking at, or maybe give you ideas for the kind of business you're looking to start. So, with the strength card, this talks about maybe you want to work with animals, or you're caring for vulnerable people. So maybe you're wanting to start a business where you're, helping in those ways. So like kind of like therapy in a sense, or maybe your own kind of like animal shelter or something. Or it may not be as big as that. But the other part of the strength card is, making sure that you're doing what you're most passionate about. Where are your passions? With the Ace of Wands, that talks about, career or work with things like technology or tools. It's talking about being excited about starting something new. Again, this new business for yourself. You might need to engage and make sure that you do your research about the tools that you will need to make your business a success. That might be part of, again, this strategy plan. You need to make sure you know what you need to make your business actually work, as far as the technology you'll need to rely on, as well as, again, any physical tools you might need. Then with the Three of Wands, this is, talks about careers, or, we can apply this to a business as well. Things like writing, project management, and freelancing, which obviously, so maybe you're looking for your business to be more in that freelancing position. I also thought, like, especially with the talk about animals, like things like, okay, you're starting your own like personal like dog walking or like dog grooming kind of business as like a freelancer. You're not necessarily working for a location. Um, expanding, being able to take on more responsibilities. And that's all about, if you're going to be starting your own business, all the responsibility lies on you until you can get to a point in your business where maybe you can delegate some of those. responsibilities, but I don't feel like a lot of you in this pile are close to that step yet. I feel like you're still in the infancy of like, what even is this business? And lastly, we have the 10 of swords. So with the 10 of swords, this could talk about, you know, jobs, work that has to do with death, such as a funeral director, detective, forensic science. It could also mean that, you know, you could potentially be unemployed at the moment in certain situations. So again, maybe you're transitioning jobs. There's a kind of an idea with the 10 of swords of self retirement. So maybe some of you are at a retiring age, but you don't want to just be sitting at home doing nothing. This is like your moment to kind of like, okay, I want to create something on the side here in my retirement that can still make me money, but I can actually pour my time into the passion part of it, not just okay, I'm working a 9 to 5 for whoever. Now I can make my own schedule. Maybe you have some sort of pension or something that, like, okay, can help you along the way while you're working on other things. So we got a couple different things here. So if any of that resonated or like sparked an idea of like, oh, that was what I was thinking, maybe like for this business wise, let me know in the comments. But I wanted to talk about that with the tarot because, again, tarot cards do have, relations to things like that. So anyway, next up, let's talk about the wish granted, which is card 10. It's interesting because this is a 3, that's a 3, that's a 1, that's also 10. So you got a lot of repeating numbers, a lot of 1s, a lot of 3s, 10 again. Oh, wow. I'm like 8. All right, anyway. So with the wish granted card is an indication that your desire to actualize your creativity will produce the results you wish for. Allow yourself to enjoy a visit to the heavenly state we can all access when we have no doubt, even if only for a few minutes. This card can also be a reminder to be careful of what you wish for because you are going to get it. Living life creatively means solving challenges in a mindful way, and that means allowing the situation to fill what we call our psychic imagination. This is the part of our psyche where we are free to let creative solutions enter the show, to enter and show us the way to act that we would otherwise not be open to. As Cinderella sang, a wish is a dream your heart makes. So obviously, so these are the creativity oracle cards, because regardless of what kind of business you're looking for, creativity is so helpful to rely on. It's the spark. It's what makes things interesting. So for you guys, maybe working on kind of like a meditation practice that allows you to get into this mindful state so that you can better come up with the solutions that you need. And again, that emphasis on acting how in ways that we otherwise wouldn't naturally rely on. So that's part, I think, of why like the journaling and the strategizing might be really helpful for you, because it's going to show you where you need to actually like act in ways that maybe normally you, or approach a problem in a way that you normally wouldn't. So lastly, we have our self-care card here, which is 55, which is literally the last card in this deck. The mantra is, I am grateful. Ultimately, the only thing that we can fully control is our thoughts. To call in good vibes, write a list of things that you're grateful for. It can be for any given day or just a general list of the good stuff in life. Reflect on past difficult situations to uncover the lessons that were hidden in them. Feel gratitude for how everything has evolved to land you where you are now. Practicing gratitude allows us to shift back to the present moment and recognize how divinely orchestrated life truly is. Holding on to resistance and expectations keeps us attached to our suffering. When we take time to consistently and authentically express our appreciation for others, we receive gratitude in return. This process creates a beautiful cycle of positivity that propels us forward and into a more positive and stable experience of life. So the journal prompt here for you guys is, what are you grateful for? How can you show more gratitude daily? So this is obviously a practice that's going to help you with coming up with this business. So what do you already have that you're grateful for? And again, it's just, that is just there to help generate good vibes. I feel like again, you guys get so caught up in like, oh no, this one thing went bad, so now everything is bad. It's like, no, okay, yeah, so something went bad, but what was the blessing in that? That's what you need to be grateful for. So that is what we're seeing here in this particular pile. If it resonated, if it made sense, if you found it helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, comment because it helps me to come up with these videos. Make sure to check out my community tab because I always put up a new poll for the next month's video. So you guys can actively take part in what content I make next. And also, all of my various links are in the description, such as my website, where if you're interested in art, prints, stickers, fun little things, that's where my website is. Also, I have Patreon for behind the scenes stuff, Instagram for behind the scenes stuff with my channel now. I have that. Various other links. So if you're interested, check it all out in the description and let me know how it all goes. Bye-bye. For those who picked pile 2 here, we're going to go ahead and see what energy you need to clear out before you can start your business. And so we're going to start with the tarot. So we got the 6 of Wands. We have the Sun card. We have the 6 of Swords. So we already have 2 sixes coming up. So that's a really important number for you guys. And we have the Knight of Cups. So what I'm already getting off this vibe, like what is the energy you need to clear out? Oh boy. I'm getting a lot of different hits right now. So one of it is you're afraid to shine. You're afraid of your own success. I get the sense of. So that's why you're having issues with, maybe starting this business is because you have to step up to the plate and be the face. It's like I feel like the kind of business that you're doing relies so heavily on a really personal connection of the person behind it. So we're like, that is such a big part. I feel like some of you struggle with, there might have been relationships in your life that have not been very supportive of you being independent and starting your own thing. Some of you, I get the sense that you have maybe you are married or you were married. You have had children. So I get the sense of you had dedicated so much of your life to somebody else that you never really considered. Like something's happened recently where it's like maybe your child has left the roost, or maybe you've gone through a separation, or something again. Maybe you just hit a milestone in your life, a certain age, and it's like you've come to this realization that you've spent so much of your life in service to others. The 6th house. Ah! Oh my god, yeah, in service to others. I mean, this could be even a job. Maybe you've recently retired from like a certain position, or maybe you left a certain job that you've been in for a long time, because we have the 6 of Swords here. So this is about moving away from something. And it's like, yeah, I just, ow, sorry, my wrist did something funky. Yeah, it's like you spent so much time being in service to others that now it's like it's your time. It's your time to shine, and you need supportive, loving, creative people around you right now, because this business, I get the sense of that you're wanting to do, has so much about to do with like celebration and brightness and beauty and love and creativity. It's so nurturing. Like I get the sense of real nurturing like vibe, and just like brightness is the vibe I'm getting here. So let's see a little bit more into these. I mean, obviously the Sun card, like this is a good idea. Like whatever you have this idea for a business, it's a good idea. The sun is shining on you, and you have the six of wands. So it's like, yeah. The one thing I guess again I get the sense of is maybe in the past you've had relationships. Again, it could be romantic, it could not be romantic, that were emotionally manipulative, the other person. So I feel like that's part of the energy you need to work on clearing out, is if you have been emotionally, I guess in a way, it may not be this extreme, but like emotionally abused in some sense. It's like you need to work through that. So yeah, especially with that 6 of wands in this particular card, it's like, her pose, her position, it's just, it feels so like I can't, it's like too humbled, or like I feel some sort, I'm, again, this is the vibe I'm getting. Other people might read it different, but the vibe I mean is almost like shame for being seen. Like, oh, that's not the position that I'm supposed to be in. So anyway, yeah, so the sun, soul is the light, let it show itself. Yeah, it's interesting because one of the key words with that this particular sun is paternal archetype. So again, the emotional manipulation that we could be referring to might even be a parental figure in your life. It could be, it could be a father, it could be a mother. I mean, it could be anything. But somebody in that position, again, I just get the sense of somebody in a position where it's like, whether it's true or not, it felt like they had power over you and you had to listen to them. With the, Knight of Cups, be a bearer of noble ideals. You know, you're looking for harmony now, especially even the sun. The sun is a harmony card as well. You know, the Six of Wands, you are right to be happy. Victory, good news, optimism. You need to have optimism, and it's, you are allowed to be happy, and you're definitely allowed to be happy for something you achieved. Again, I feel like there's something going on here where maybe in your childhood it's like you could not, I'm getting the sense of almost like, oh, you scored 100 on a test, you went to show a parent and they were just like not impressed at all. And it's like that's so it made you feel like you weren't allowed to be proud of your own successes. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe. And it may, yeah, that's just the vibe I'm getting here. So then with the Six of Swords, if you abandon your habitual shores, you never know where you might land. Competent help changes, insecurities, unexplored and foreign destinations. So you're needing to definitely change up your scenery. And again, there's definitely insecurity here. Insecurity about being seen is what I'm getting at, and like being praised for success. So the other thing I wanted to get into is that with each of these like tarot cards, there are kind of career, job, business related like things that they each represent. So I wanted to touch on those because again, this might have to do with the business you're thinking about doing, or it might spark an idea to help you come up with the business you want to do. So we're going to start with the sun. So obviously the sun, this is talking about a leadership position. So you are going to be the boss. And I feel like that is something you're not normally used to. I feel like you often in your life have delegated power or the power of the choice to somebody else. And, it could also refer to, you want your job to be fun. You want your business to be fun. And it even could be a business that's related to children, working with children, a business in service to maybe helping children or teaching children. I mean, whatever. Do with that with what you will. And then we have the Six of Wands, which is talking about, about whatever this is, this project, this business. It's like, it's going to bring you recognition. And that is something that I feel like will cause you guys some anxiety if you don't work through this. If you don't work to understand why you have maybe this insecurity, where it stems from, and coming to peace with it and healing it, which again is easier said than done, but it is the work that you need to do in order to make this, success, the sun, the business, a reality. Then we have our Knight of Cups, which can signify, poetry, musician, painter, any type of creative job. So maybe this is a creative job where you're working with kids. Maybe you want to be like start your own like teaching center or something. It could also refer to healthcare jobs. So again, but only in the situation if you really, love taking care of other people. It also can signify that you'll often take a lot of business trips for your business. So that kind of emphasizes, again, foreign places. So that might be another thing. It's like you're so used to kind of staying within your own safe kind of bubble, where you live, and it's like, to start this business, it might require you to get up and move, to explore other places. And that's another thing that I feel like is going to cause some insecurity, because I don't feel like a lot of you pick this pile are very used to traveling on your own or being on your own in general. I feel like you've always had other people around you that either were relying on you or you were relying on them. So it's such a foreign idea for you to be the leader to forge out on your own. Like this whole idea, like starting a business for you, this isn't just, oh, I want to start a business, I want the money. This is about a whole entire reshaping of your life, because this concept, this idea of starting a business is going to require you to reshape, I feel like, all of your foundations. It's going, like, at the end of this process, if you go through it and you do the steps, it's like you will not recognize who you are in like 5 years time. Like, you will be a completely different person. So, 6 of Swords can signify, science, problem solving, computer, and travel jobs. Again, we have a lot here to do with travel. Maybe you want to be a travel blogger or something. I mean, that's more of a content creator than necessarily a business, but I mean, you can turn that into a brand depending on how you want to play that. But again, it's an idea. So now let's get into the oracle cards here. So, ooh, we got caring connections, but it's in the reverse. So we will get into that. We also have connect with your womb. And we have procrastination. Stop focusing on your problems and excuses. Take a small step and do something constructive. So maybe that's something a lot of you are struggling with, is procrastination. That could also be kind of a way I could look at the 6 of Swords, because it's like moving away. Like, you don't want to face the problems. You kind of just want to like skirt around them and avoid them. But it's like the sun is not going to let you skirt away from anything. The sun is going to shine the light on it, and there's no turning back. I also feel like by starting this business, especially if you've gone through some rough romantic relationships in the past, it's like, through doing this, because again, it's going to completely change who you are foundationally as a person. It's going to bring in, potentially for some of you, a very loving connection. It could be a romantic connection, or it could be a business partner even. But we have to work through what the issues are here first. So let's start with that, because I feel like this is part of the energy we need to clear out. So this is card of 14, but it came in the reverse. So it's talking about friendship, partnerships of 2, impossible love, but it's in the reverse. So this card reverse signals a break in communication or a parting of the ways of 2 people. With a romantic, social, or business, the present connection seems to be at or close to an end. Maybe even be the case that some of you have already been in business with a person for a while, and you guys are having a change in, like, again, you're changing as people. There's a divide happening in that, and you want to kind of like break. I don't necessarily feel like you want to break from it, but it's like, it's going to happen whether you like it or not. Like, you're going to come to a realization that something is not healthy here anymore, and maybe that business is failing. You're trying to keep it afloat, but it feels like you're the only one caring at this point. Your other partner is not in it anymore. So it's like, it's time for you to, because I just get the sense of like, you guys are the ones who are like the nurturer. You always are feeding, you're always supporting. You are never in the limelight. You are never recognized for your contribution to this partnership. And it's really frustrating. I find it frustrating, at least. It's like a partnership, especially this is referencing a partnership of 2. In a partnership of 2, each person should be equal in that, whether we're talking romantic or not. Anyway, back to this, or it's close to an end. If this is the case, consider what healthy action needs to be taken to move on. As difficult as a parting may be, it can often lead to bigger and better things, especially with the sun here. Keep in mind both the logistical and emotional aspects of leaving this connection behind. Make plans, vent your feelings. Always remember, with every ending, a new beginning is at hand. Exactly. Some of you might be procrastinating doing this work. Like, that something's not right anymore. In order to make your new ideas blossom and bloom and just like shine like the sun, you got to clear out the old in order to make that happen. Yeah. Okay, procrastination, card 7. like everything, I think in life, whether it's a business or whatever, no matter what kind of business you're doing, creativity is very important to have. And so these are the creativity oracle cards. And I think we already had mentioned with your cards in particular about creative business to begin with. So procrastination. The procrastination card is related to the perfectionism card, in that people often use an excuse for delaying or failing to act. The fact that they cannot achieve a sufficiently perfect outcome where were they to actually start doing the work. The antidote to procrastination is simply starting, doing something, anything. Taking one step forward that is in any way related to one's goal can get the ball rolling. This must be done knowing full well that you are warming up like an athlete, and that this initial creative effort is almost definitely going to be modified, if not discarded entirely. These small steps practices make the procrastination disappear into the beautiful inner landscape of your creative imagination. So, for you guys, it's just so important to, again, you need to take one action. That's all it takes. I feel like having that bravery to make the choice to move away from it is what's going to really help you guys. Because I think if you do that one step, other things will fall into place. It's like that will be the green light from the universe to be like, oh, they're serious now. They're ready now. They took that one step. That's the sign we needed to know that you're okay to like start this process, because once it starts rolling, it's not going to stop rolling. I feel like there is a lot of like, oh, like I'm getting the feeling of like emotional breakdowns that are like, now when I say emotional breakdown, I don't mean that in like a negative sense that you can't accomplish it. It's going to be so freeing, because it's like a huge realization of like all the stuff you've been holding on to for so long, like that you weren't consciously aware of, and it's just going to come pouring out as you start making these small little steps. And you're going to have so many epiphanies and realizations. You're just going to be like, oh my god. Again, I get the huge sense that like a couple years from now, from this point, you are going to be such a different person. It's not even funny. And you're going to look back and be like, wow, look how far I've come. I had no idea. It's not the like the word that just came in, it's not the end. I feel like that's for some of you who are at a certain point in your life, like age wise, it's not the end. You still have plenty of time left to do so much. So don't give up on yourself. Um, mm, sorry. I just got like really like hit emotionally. Jesus. Oh, you guys have like so much love in your heart. Oh God. Okay. Anyway, card 15 here. Connecting with the womb. So, especially if you are somebody who has a literal womb, this is like you got to that's like your creative power. That is your creative center. This is all about connecting with there. If you don't have a literal womb, you know, you can connect with the cosmic womb of the goddess energy of the earth and stuff. Like don't discount your chickens. All right, like you can connect to this energy even if you don't have a physical womb. But if you do have a physical womb, it's even doubly so the point for you guys, like that working with this energy. I feel like if you do have a physical one, I'm getting the sense that maybe that's where you're holding some of like the some physical wounds, or like I should say like spiritual wounds is in your womb. So maybe you need to work with clearing some of the energy of your root and sacral chakra. There might have been some things, for some of you this could be representing of part of like the massive shift that's happening in your life that might be triggering this. Is maybe you're going into perimenopause or menopause, and again you literally become a completely different person at that point, like on a biological sense. And or again, for others of you, this is maybe about making a decision about the state of your womb. Maybe you're making a transition, or maybe you're deciding, you know what, I don't want to have any kids, or maybe I've already had kids and I don't want to have any more. Or maybe for some of you, that this could be like a PCOS. Did I say that right? like there could be some issues there. Maybe you're finally getting the opportunity to have a certain like type of surgery or help or find maybe an OBJ, like OBY, whatever, you know what I'm trying to say, lady doctor bits, uh, who's going to actually help you with something there. And again, I feel like that's going to be a big part. 'Cause I with you guys, I get a big sense of you've had encounters with people regardless of how like deep the relationship go, where they've just kind of brushed off your ideas, or they brushed off your pain, or they've told you, oh, you're making that up, or I don't know, I just get the sense of just like your needs have been suppressed, whatever those needs may be. Anyway, let's get into this. So the mantra is, I bring my dreams to life. Exactly. Meditate on drawing forth the creative energy of your womb, your mother's womb, or the cosmic womb. This will help you gather insight about the creations that the universe is calling forward from within you. By opening up this intuitive dialogue with your womb, you will also become better. You will also better understand what needs releasing. Rest one or both hands on your lower belly and send loving energy to this space. Ask your womb, physical or energetic, the following questions. What creation wants to come forward through me? What energies are stored here? What womb traumas within me or from my lineage need healing? It might also be that might be another situation where, um, especially if you identify as like, you have a womb or you identify as female, it's like in your lineage, uh have a lot of the other women been repressed? Have they been told that they can't do something? They've always been subjected to one specific role and never allowed to expand beyond. Maybe it's like they were never allowed to go to college, they only ever got their GED, or not even that, they've been always delegated to the role of mother or sister or whatever. It's like you might be the first person in your family line to now take this step to like, no, I'm going to change this whole thing. There could be, yeah, some like ancestral karma here that needs to be like a chain that needs to be broken, and they can be broken here and now with you. So yeah, from lineage that needs to be healed. Okay. If fertility or birthing is in your energetic field, take this time to tune in deeper to your womb as the vessel through which new life can enter the realm. Ask your womb how you can support it in healing or in carrying a new life. Listen carefully to the answers that reveal themselves. The journal prompt here is, what feelings, thoughts, and beliefs do you associate with your womb and why? Okay, yeah, that's a big one. Wow. Lots of heavy emotion with this particular pile. I definitely like, this is not a small deal. Like, this is a very big deal in your life. As much as it seems like, I mean, this is more than just a business. This is a complete shift of your life, of your like ancestral life, like karma, everything. It's like, this is such a big turning point for you, and it's fucking terrifying. I get the sense that so many of you have definitely a lot of fear and like scared about it, but it's, if you go with it and you trust and you work on this healing process and you start to work through the insecurity, and you allow yourself to, start by making a list also of what you have been, what you've done in your life, like that you are proud of, and actually celebrate those things. Celebrate yourself, take yourself out, treat yourself well. Oh my God, you know what just crossed my mind? This is very specific. So there's a webtoon that I've started reading, Tears on a Withering Flower, I think it's roughly called that. Oh my God, like, some of you in this pile totally, no, please don't take too much offense from this, but like, you kind of have the vibe of that main girl from that series, where it's like, she just sacrifices everything to her husband. Yeah, if you read webtoon, definitely you probably have seen that series on like the front page, because it's a newer one that just got released on the original side of things. But yeah, that's a little bit of the vibe I'm getting here. Oh my God, there are so many crossovers to that. Oh my, again, this is very specific for some, but if you go and you read that oh, if you go read that webtoon, like, there's gonna be something in there that's gonna hit for you, and you're gonna be like, oh shit. Yeah. Wow. Okay. That's this pile. Damn. All right. If this resonated, know that you are loved and everything will work out all right. Okay. Just allow yourself to shine. Okay. But yes, remember to like, comment, subscribe because that helps me to keep creating videos like this. And definitely keep an eye on my community tab because that is where I put up the poll for the next video that I do. So if you want an active hand in choosing the next video that I do, definitely keep an eye out on there and help to vote. Feel free to leave suggestions also for content you would like to see. And all my various links are in the description. So if you're interested in something, it's probably down there in the description. But thank you all so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Those who picked our third and final pile here, we're going to talk about what energy you need to clear out before you can start your business. And so we're going to start with our tarot. And we got the Hierophant. We have the Five of Cups. We got the Eight of Cups. Damn. And we got the Knave of Wands. This is all about starting over. I get a sense of disillusionment about definitely certain institutions. You need to allow yourself to step away and heal again. With the Five of Cups here and the Eight of Cups, it's like the energy I'm getting here. I'm getting the sense that some of you have already like started a business of some sort, and it might be the case that that business has run its course and it's time to move on and start something new again. And that's a hard thing to do because I think a lot of people are going to look at you and be like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, you've worked so hard at this one particular thing. But I feel like the foundations of it and like the principles, the values of it, it just no longer resonates with you, and you just want to kind of like go away and start anew. There's again, I'm just getting this, the word that's coming to mind is disillusionment about it. um Interesting. So let's get a little deeper into this. Yeah, I feel like you had such high lofty ideals, but then I feel like some of the like the politics around it, like something to go around with it, like you're just no longer about it and you kind of want to start fresh. It's too, what wanted to come out of my mind, it's like too big now. It's like again, I'm just getting a sense of the politics and people are like arguing and like it's too much now. It's like you want to go back to the beginning. You want to go back to when things felt, you were younger and you were more bright-eyed about it, you were more excited, you were more creative about it, and now things have just like run their course and you just are like, I don't know what this is anymore. So yeah, with the Five of Cups, it's like it takes time to heal the wounds of the spirit. Disappointment, nostalgia, sadness, broken spirit. With the Eight of Cups, it hurts, but when you have to go, it hurts, but you now have to go into the unknown. Painful departure, uncertainty about the future, nostalgia, immigrating, independence. So again, maybe for a lot of you, it's like this whole thing has been initiated by a break. Maybe you've worked for like a corporate, you have been working for like a corporate position, you've climbed up the ladder. Oh, this is a very common thing actually when I think about it. Where it's like you've climbed up the corporate ladder, you've reached like a pinnacle of a position there, you've worked your ass off, but now you're there. You've achieved the thing and it's just not what you it's not it anymore. You're not the same person you were when you started on this path with that big ideal and that goal. And now you're just like, well, what now? It's like, okay, I'm here, but now I'm surrounded by this totally different group of people and it's just not the vibe. It's not, I don't feel good. I don't feel happy. But I should be happy. That's what everybody's praising me. I got the office, I got the whatever. It's like, but what for? What for? What am I, what is this? Yeah, I got money, I got a title, I got whatever, but I'm not happy. Where is, I thought I would be happy. Like that's just what I'm getting off this. It's like I thought I was going to be happy. That I would get everything, that I would achieve everything, and now I'm here and I'm miserable. I'm a miserable, I'm living every day miserable, waking up at this, clocking in this and that. Where do I go from here? What is the point? Like, that's just like like what is the point? Why are we talking about this? Why are we arguing about this? Why are we making these decisions? It's like this wasn't what I signed up for. Why am I why am I here? Sorry, I just got a flashback to an episode of Supernatural. Why am I here? If you know, you know. Anyway, so yeah, I talked about the Eight of Cups. Yeah. All right, what about the Knave of Wands? In a new adventure, rekindle your inner fire, new opportunities, proposals, and challenges, fiery temperament. And I feel like that's another part of like what you're missing here. It's like, again, you've reached this ladder, but where is the challenge? Where is the fiery creativity? Where's like, it's missing. So maybe this doesn't resonate with everybody. It's kind of fairly specific. If like you've already been doing this one job, it's what you wanted for a long time, but now you're at this point where it's like you've achieved a lot and you're just like, what? What is this? Um, so now I'm going to kind of dive a little bit into some specific kind of like career, business kind of ish related things to each of the cards, because each card does have something related to it that might help to resonate with, hey, like that's the business idea I have, or maybe that's the thing I'm passionate about actually. Or it's going to give you an idea of like, oh, that sounds like a great idea, maybe I will come up with something for that for a business so that I can be my own independent person, you know. So Hierophant obviously has to do with working in, it could be a religious organizations, any kind of organized like organizations, schools and institutions, speaks of business. It's often the most vital business to keep the economy going in a small town, or it's a franchise. So maybe that's where you've been working. You've been working with a big franchise, or maybe again the business you want is something where you're going to take the skills that you've learned in this bigger kind of corporate world, and you want to go back home, or you want to settle down in a smaller place, but you'll become like a big fish in that small place. That's another idea I get from there. Or again, maybe that's like where you've been working. I get the sense that the Hierophant is kind of like where you've been, but you have these skills so you can easily apply them to a business model. It's like you have the experience. I feel like the idea of kind of like starting a business is not hard for you because you already have like a very business mindset, but it's just like the youthfulness of it is gone, like the spark, the creativity. I feel like that's what's lacking. I feel like you're very burnt out from the rigid structure. You need a little more fluidity. You need a little bit more, you know? So let's look at our cups. Actually, we'll stop at the Knave of Wands first. So with that, it could talk about creative work, community projects, youth work. It can signify, again, you're not bad at what you do. And I don't feel like you have necessarily a problem finding something you're good at. I feel like you're very savvy. You got a good head on your shoulders, but it's like, where's the passion? Like, I feel like that's what's missing now. And typically things that other people find hard to do, especially in a work situation, you find easy to do. And like often you'll look at other people and you don't understand why it's so difficult. And that might be part of why you're so frustrated right now in the position you're in, because you're around all these higher ups who are arguing and bickering about how to do what. And it's like you see the solutions and it's just like you want to shake them, because it's like, oh my God, can we not do this again? Like, ugh, the politics. You don't like the politics of the office place. Like, ugh. Ugh. All right, the cups. So again, 5 of Cups. We're talking about, work that doesn't really satisfy you anymore. It's about great potential to achieve in career, but for some reason unable to blossom. You can feel isolated at work because maybe you like, because we've had to mention about like community. community projects, group projects. So maybe like in your earlier career, part of your career, it's like you worked a lot with other people, but now that you've climbed that ladder, it's like you're not working with in groups in like these collective like little projects anymore. It's you feel lonely. You because again, I feel like again you have this capability where things are easy for you to understand and easy for you to do, but other people around you it's not easy for them to understand. So that also makes you feel isolated because you can see solutions that other people can't. And you also I get the sense that you don't really like answering to higher powers above you anymore. You might have accepted that because you figured that was what you had to do in the earlier parts of your career, but now you're at a point where it's like I don't have the patience for this anymore. So then with the 8 of Cups, you know, can mean casual work supporting the seeker, which is you guys, while on a spiritual journey. Maybe again, you have a little bit of a nest egg of money. Maybe the thing that you really need right now is to go on a pilgrimage. Again, up and, make a change in your scenery for a time and go experience more of life and more things outside of a rigid 9 to 5 kind of situation. All right. Um, it's about pursuing what you've always wanted to do, but you were too afraid to do. The fear is gone. The desire to live a new life has triumphed now at this point. So, again, we're not really getting, unlike with the other piles with their tarot cards, where there was like very specific, oh, like this card has to do with working with children or whatever. It's like you guys aren't really getting a lot of that because again you I feel like are a group who are very capable of doing anything, like you could easily be plopped into any kind of career situation and you can easily just like, yeah, okay, I learn it, I can do it, whatever. Some of you might even have like photogenic memory. You might be really amazing at numbers. I feel like you have kind of there's some level in your abilities that are almost like a savant or like a genius level, which is part of why you've easily climbed like, you know, work career ladders up to higher positions. Like you can do that easily. I also feel like you guys, when it comes to this, might be why, again, you're in a position where probably you've already been working a standard kind of job at an institution, a school, or whatever. And now it's like you want to break away, you want to do your own thing. The one caveat about that is I feel like you're the type of person, and this might be shocking for some of you, where you're going to switch up what you do for your career many times. And that's something you never imagined. You always figured like, oh yeah, I'm going to be dead set on this. I feel like in your childhood, you probably talked about like every other day, you were talking about wanting to be something else when you grew up. Like, I want to be a veterinarian this day, but now I want to be a firefighter. I want to be a scientist. Like in your youth, you talked about that a lot. But then once you hit like high school, college, it's like that kind of got the realities of the world kind of settled in. You were like, okay, no, I'm going to go into finance, or I'm going to go into this very clear cut, like this is a job that will get me plenty of money. I'll get a nice house. I'll be independent. I'll be able to take care of myself. I might even be helped to take care of my family because the job is paying good. Like everything around, people are going to be impressed. You'll have the accolades, you have the degrees, whatever. You've worked very hard, but now it's like, where's the passion? Yeah. Let's actually get into your oracle cards because I have oracle cards too. uh oh wow, this is crazy. We have patience. Creativity takes time, and sometimes a project can seem to be taking too long or seem to be failing. Wow. We also have the sun in the reverse position, so we'll get into that. And then we have look to the stars. So I feel like for you guys, starting to explore astrology might be very helpful. Get to know your own personal natal chart, what that means. I feel like that's going to really help you to understand where's your passion, because your natal chart can help to point to you like the things you're naturally like very good at or the things you're drawn to. So look to your 10th house, your second house, maybe even your 8th house, your 4th house as well, because that's directly opposite from the 10th house. So that's going to have those houses are going to speak to each other. Yeah, maybe even the 11th house a little bit, because that's kind of like that is a house that has to do with like wishes as well as like your organizations, your community, your friend groups, whatever. So yeah, we have a little bit of that too. So let's start with the sun in the reverse. because obviously that's an energy we definitely need to work here with and to clear out. And this is card 1. New beginnings and great creativity. So in the reverse, a creative project may be blocked at this time, or you could be feeling your own creativity being stifled in some way. These challenges could be imposed from outer sources, or they could actually be coming from within. Are you standing in your own way, stopping self expression out of fear or self doubt? If so, it's time to let go of fear and be willing to take a risk. The sun reverse can also indicate a period of time when you find yourself living in the darkness of confusion, lack of direction, or even depression. Reclaim your power and take back emotional control of your life. Stop focusing on the clouds like stop focusing on the clouds. Like the sun, the light of your soul shines no matter how difficult or excuse me, God, my mouth is getting dry. Like the sun, the light of your soul shines no matter what difficulty or darkness may be clouding the horizon. Your power and light are always present, able to bring healing and renewal through strong, self directed choices in any situation. So let go of the doubt. Let your creativity come forth and know that you deserve to shine. Cool. Now we have patience. The patience card is an indication that problems you're having regarding the matter in questions are being caused by an unacceptable amount of patience, not enough or too much, either on your part or on the part of another person involved. Selecting the patience card can also be an invitation to vibrate in resonance with the unique frequency of your project, to accept the speed of its unfolding as correct and proper and beneficial. Everything has started off in the human mind, has encountered the fluctuations of problems and solutions. The cultivating of patience and perseverance are the two unfailing indicators of success and successful people. We fail until we succeed. There's no other way. Being told to be patient can be received as if it was a blessing if you understand creativity through it, though it sounds like a curse to those who do not. Exactly. So, again, there could be an issue here where some of you are having too much patience or too little patience. So that I feel like is very dependent on you. And I feel like you guys are a group where it's like, I'm doing this reading for you, and then you're just kind of like, I feel like that's why there's not like, while it's a very specific situation that came out, there's no really strong specifics as far as like, oh, I can see this is maybe the business that you're looking at doing. Um, that's not the case for you guys, because I feel like you have very strong independent minds of like, okay, I know what I'm capable of doing, but I feel like the issue for you guys is connecting to that creativity and again the passion. What are you passionate about? Because I feel like you're easily gone with like, oh, like you were praised in school, like the teachers, oh, you're so good at this, you're so good at this, where it's like, okay, I'm so good at it. Yeah. So obviously that's an easy route to go. I feel like you in a way, even though you've worked your ass off, you've picked the easy route. You haven't actually challenged yourself. I feel like for you, the idea of starting a business is actually going to challenge you, because it's going to require you to actually come to terms with maybe skills you're not that good at and to realize it, because I feel like, again, you are a group that are very capable. You're very talented, but it can honestly be kind of a situation where you've sat on your talent, where you kind of coasted with it because you knew it would get you to a certain, to this idea of comfort. You know, you got money or you have a place or whatever. Again, this pile is not going to resonate with everybody. But it's like, you need challenge. You need to be challenged and you need to be pushed into something more creative that is going to bring the youth back into you. I just get that sense of the youthfulness of like passion and like, woo, adventure, and I'm gonna just dive in and do the thing. And I'm like, okay, like that's just the vibe I'm getting here. So maybe again, you have to be patient with starting a project, and a project like starting your own business. It's like it's gonna be slow going. That's something you're not used to, I feel like. I feel like you're used to like, okay, I can achieve this, all right, I'll achieve this in 6.2 months. But then starting a business is like, well, it's going to fluctuate where I'm going to go whoop, and I'm gonna go whoop, and I'm gonna go whoop again. You know, I don't know what noises I'm making at this point. Anyway, let's look at the stars. Like, I feel like some of you are gonna be shaking your head at like the weird sounds I've been making and like the way I'm talking, but I feel like this is like the energy you guys need to have a little bit more of in your life. Go and like, you have any friends who have like younger kids, go and watch how younger kids, again, don't take this in a creepy, like if you have a friend or like a family member who has small children, go visit them, maybe offer to help babysit for the day, and like get reminded of what it's like to be a kid again. I feel like you guys have been adulting too hard. Ugh. Like, have some fun again, do something funky. Yeah. Mm. Anyway, look to the stars. The stars reflect my magic. As above, so below. The ancient aphorism represents how our human experience reflects the movements of the stars in the universe. Just as our ancestors did, we can look to the heavens for insight into our shared experience as people on this planet. Astrology is a powerful tool for recognizing patterns impacting the collective consciousness, which we can often see play out among our friends, family, lovers, community, and our own life. Deepen your understanding of yourself and the astrological patterns through self study or by working with a professional astrologer. As you tune into the different astrological seasons, you can gain great insight into what energies are working in your favor. This practice will allow you to flow with the energies instead of feeling like you are swimming in opposition to the currents of life. So, the journal prompt here is, how can you best work with the current astrological season? If you're unsure of what it is, take a moment to look it up and read what it's all about. There's lots of different um, astrologers here on YouTube that do great videos that talk about what's currently going on in the seasons. If you want a good, I have a number of his books. I really like Stephen Force, God, what's the word I'm trying to say? Astrology books. Okay, he has a lot of good books if you're wanting to learn. And yeah, again, I feel like this might be a really good. Dude, it might even be the case that some of you are like, oh yeah, I've been working like my corporate job, and now I'm gonna drop everything. I'm gonna start my own astrology business because I'm really into the stars or something. Like, it could be something crazy like that. And it's not crazy, but you know what I mean. Like, to you, it seems crazy. It seems childish. It seems like, oh, make believe. Like, get some make believe into your life. Get some magic again. Like, act like a kid. I feel like that's like really what you guys need to do, is like, you need to pretend to be a kid again, because it's going to help you to remind you of like what you actually enjoy in life. Again, I just get you've gone through the movement so much. You went to school, you picked a good achieving job. You've done that for a while, and it's like you've built up your savings, you have a blah blah blah, and you this and that, whatever, but it's like, where's the fun? Where's the fun? Where's the creativity? Where's the wildness? Where's the throw paint on the wall? Like, finger paint. Do something crazy, okay? Like, to mix it up, because it's going to generate ideas. I can't help you more than that. I don't know. Like, the universe is just, you guys, you're so capable. Just do the things, okay? And like, don't worry. Maybe some of you are a little self-conscious. Maybe you care a lot about what other people think. That's why you've chosen the fields that you have to be like, oh, high achieving, people are impressed, blah blah blah. But you know what, you can do anything. What do you actually want to do? What are you actually passionate about? Who are you really? Not who you should be on paper. Yeah, get to know yourself. Astrology, learn about yourself in a way that you never have even considered. I feel like a lot of you who pick this pile, like, you hear astrology, I mean, you have to be at least somewhat interested to even pick on a fucking tarot reading to begin with, right? But like astrology in particular, like, oh, those sun signs, those horoscopes, that's, believe me, astrology is so much deeper than that. We are all made up of all the zodiac signs. One, two, it's such a good tool to understand yourself, okay? And you so desperately need to understand yourself in a more passionate and authentic way, and not just a good on paper, okay? All right. This is such a fucking weird reading. Oh my god. This has been a whirlwind of a reading this time around. From pile 1 to this pile, it's like each one has been so different from the other. Interesting stuff. But yeah, if this resonated, If you found it interesting, if you find it, oh God, I'm throwing things now. If you found it entertaining, um, let me know. Comment down below, like, subscribe. Again, if you do that, definitely keep an eye on my community tab because that's where I put up polls. So if you want to actively be a part of choosing what kind of readings or content I make next, that is where I host it. Yeah, check out all my links down below if you're interested in anything else that I do. And I hope you have a good rest of your month, day, year, whatever it is, whenever you happen to watch this. Let me know how it goes. All right. See you next one. Bye bye.